Ew, ew, ew. Oh. I thought this is about choices. Generic intro into that goes moo here, back with another kill count reaction. Today we are starting the Saw franchise, which I have never seen the Saw movies, so this is going to be quite the experience. I had no idea there were as many of them as there are. There's a ton of the Saw movies, but today we're just doing Saw 1 and 2. It's going to be a longer video, so thank you so much for being here. I hope you watched the entire thing. You can check out my reaction to the last video, which was a shorter one. It was Leprechaun Origins. I can't believe they did that to Leprechaun. I'll leave it right up there. Also, the link down below in the description. Also, in a place on my channel, all my other kill count reactions. Go in chronological order if you've binge watching all of that. My understanding of the Saw games is that I believe he like kidnaps people, or I don't know kidnaps, but he like takes people that have done bad things and then puts them in situations where they have a choice, and usually like there's a cost associated with the choices that they get to pick, and then you know they have basically two choices to make. They can do one thing or they can do the other thing, and it's basically whatever happens is on them, I think. I have no idea. We're gonna learn a lot though. Thank you so much for being here. I hope I can make your day a tiny little better. Also, shout out to the patrons, because none of this would be possible if it was not for them. Also, I should be live stream today at 5 p.m. Playing some more Devil May Cry 2. Might actually finish the game. That was a game that took 3 months for them to make, so it's definitely been rough, but like I said, shout out to the patrons, shout out to all the people. I hope you're subscribed to some of the future videos as we're approaching 100,000 subscribers, and Saw 2004. Really? I thought Saw would be older than that. I'm just not realizing that it says 2004. But let's go ahead and jump into this kill count. All right.
Movie footage used in the kill count is owned entirely by the copyright holders. Dead Meat makes no claim of ownership.
Yep.
It simply uses the footage for purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support filmmakers and the art of filmmaking by watching Saw on home media or streaming services where available.
Fair enough. That's, yeah, I haven't seen Saw movies. I kind of have a vague understanding
and today we're looking
where he like
at
gives
Saw,
people a choice.
Low-budget film with a big impact released in 2004.
Was it
Directed
low
by
budget?
James Wan and written by Lee Winnell, Saw is one of the most influential horror films ever made, injecting
2004
into a genre that had grown stagnant with Scream knockoffs aimed at teenagers. It was so successful, it would go on to spawn 6 sequels released on an annual basis throughout the rest of the decade.
Oh, so they took the Call of Duty.
Saw hitting theaters last year, and a 9th movie all but confirmed at this point. Saw's reputation precedes.
Have they done? I think they've done like what, 10 or 11 at this point.
Porn, this first film is no more graphic than your standard sleazy slasher. Sure, the sequels would get bloodier and bloodier, but the original Saw is more about the mystery of the jigsaw killing, and of course the traps that force his victims to make difficult decisions.
It's low budget, so the traps can't be that
the original
intricate,
also sets up the twisted storytelling and flashbacks within flashbacks that would give this series one of the most convoluted running storylines in all of horror. Over the next 8 weeks,
what are the like visual effects, the color correction?
Through all of this madness. But right now, let's start at the beginning and get to the
Also, if anything has to be blurred, it's copyright. Yeah, unless there's like
blue light surrounded by
a certain moment that needs to be blurred because
floating in a tub of water, and when this dude wakes up in it, the light goes straight down the drain. Later, we'll learn how much that sucks. Bathtub boy calls out, confused in the dark.
Wait, was he holding it with his mouth?
Turn on the lights! What if I could?
When the lights do come on, they blind this guy like it's 3 in the morning and he had to get up and take a pee. He's in a bathroom, and across from him is the gravel-voiced gentleman. Between them is a body, lying in a big pool of blood from an apparent self-inflicted gun wound to the head. In one hand, the gun. In the other, a tape recorder. And both the living men find their ankles chained to the bathroom pipes.
Of course.
A lot of us have seen this movie 1,000 times.
I haven't.
But I always try to remember that this setup is instantly intriguing, and also probably helped start the escape room craze that I love so much. Our bathtub boy
that
is
is really
Adam,
popular.
played by screenwriter Lee Winnell. Damn, this dude can write and act?
Wait,
my name is very fucking confused. What's your name?
Well, at least he can
why does that guy kind of look like
Gary Elwes, trying real hard to hide his English accent. His character's name?
It's Lawrence Gordon. I'm a doctor.
He's
the
a
Titan.
doctor, and he too
Greg
just
Olson?
woke up in this place.
Yeah.
Neither of them can remember getting there at all.
I went to bed in my shithole apartment and woke up in an actual shithole.
And this place is a shithole.
How do you do that?
Look at it. There's shit all over the walls. There's shit everywhere.
I wouldn't touch
Gordon
that.
realizes that the wall clock isn't
that's
covered in
one more
shit,
clock
so
to
it
my
must
house
be
has.
new and placed there with a purpose, like a time-telling purpose. In his pants, Adam finds an
Well, I have a
envelope with
watch.
his name on it, and inside is a very pushy tape. We'll play you when we get the time tape. Gordon's pants are home to another self-promoted
That says
tape,
play me.
but with an additional bonus bullet. Oh shit,
Oh.
there's a key in there too? But
That's
as
like
us escape room
44
aficionados
Magnum?
could have guessed, the key doesn't work in any of the locks they have right now.
Well,
That
unless
tape
they're
recorder
holding
would
the
sure be
other
handy,
one's
though, and
lock.
through the power of plaid and a bathtub chain, Adam's able to reach the dead body
Wow.
and retrieve the dead media device. The tape he plays gives the world its first listen to Jigsaw.
Rise and shine, Adam. You're probably wondering where you are.
Yes.
Tell you where you might be. You might be in the room that you die in.
The tape calls Adam a voyeur and says now he has the chance to act instead of just watch. Pretty cryptic, and definitely not the tape you'd want to take to a desert island. Hoping to hear a better bop, Gordon tosses his tape to Adam. DJ Tubboy plays that track, and the tape gives Gordon some instructions.
Your aim in this game is to kill Adam. You have until 6 on the clock to do it.
It also spills a bunch of other info, like how the dude in the room shot himself because he was super poisoned, that X marks the spot for treasure, and that if he doesn't kill Adam by 6, then Gordon's wife and daughter will die, and he'll be left in this room to rot.
Let the game begin.
Oh. Could we do Catan instead? A closer
I played the game one time.
A very faint whisper saying, follow your heart, man. Looks like there's a shitty heart shit painted on that shitty toilet tank. Adam plugs his nose and fishes inside the bowl, only to find nothing. Then checks in the tank like any reasonable person would have done first. He finds a plastic bag with 2 hacksaws inside. And maybe that's it. Or maybe Adam is tossing the bag aside discreetly for a specific reason. When the saws do nothing against their chains, Adam throws his against the wall in rage, where it breaks off a piece of shit-covered mirror. Seems like those saws might prefer the taste of flesh.
He doesn't want us to cut through our chains. He wants us to cut through our feet.
Why do you know this?
Gordon says he knows who's doing this to them, and we launch into our first flashback of the series. Get ready for confusing time jumps, because this franchise plays with chronology as much as freaking Lost.
Seriously,
does.
what was
speaking of Lost, one of the detectives on the case is Stephen Singh, played by Ken Leung. His partner is David Tapp, played by Danny Glover, and they just found themselves a corpse strung up in razor wire. Detective Allison Carey,
razor wire
of Starship Troopers, tells them how this dude had a real rough death crawling through this mess, and that they found a tape on
Don't tell me he like cut the razor wire. It's really bad to do that.
Middle-class male. Yet last month, you ran a straight razor across your wrist.
See, now here's our first glimpse at Jigsaw's mentality. Middle-class male Paul here was apparently cutting himself, and rather than sympathetically ask what's wrong, Jigsaw sticks him in a room full of razor wire and says if he wants to live, he's got to escape before the door locks at 3 o'clock. We see Paul's death played out as he tries to win Jigsaw's game, in a scene edited like an industrial metal music video. It looks a little silly now,
yeah,
but
that's a little
solution to the film's low budget and lack of cover.
So how was he supposed to get out?
Paul's body is missing a piece of flesh, cut out in the shape of a puzzle piece, and thus the name of our condescending killer is born.
Actually,
wait, really? That's where Jigsaw comes from?
Ugh, this shit. There's sometimes this idea that Jigsaw technically isn't a killer since he just finds ways for his victims to kill themselves. Yeah, hey Jigsaw, maybe ask Charlie Manson how that shit holds up in court. Oh wait, you can't. He died in prison. The detectives find another body, this dude Mark, who was apparently, I don't know, fraudulently using a handicapped parking sticker or something. Jigsaw poisoned him and put the antidote inside a safe, the combination of which is written on the walls somewhere among all these numbers. But wait, there's also tons of glass on the floor. But wait again, he's smeared down in some flammable jelly so the candle he's using to light his way could become fatal. And it does. Mark is immolated after trying to win this impossible fucking game.
walking around on glass.
Technically,
and he has to use the...
kill him. The trap did. Yeah, well, who put him in the trap? Jigsaw did. Carrie points out
that's messed up.
Says Jigsaw likes to have a front row seat to his own games. She also finds a pen light on the scene that belongs to Dr. Gordon. Remember, we're still in a flashback, and in it, Gordon is talking about a patient with an inoperable tumor. He keeps calling the dude the patient, which I feel is pretty standard, but someone's not a fan of that clinical speech.
His name is John, Dr. Gordon.
Hey, speaking of Lost, it's Michael Emerson playing Zepp.
No, he's a person of interest.
Who says the patient John is actually a very interesting person. Gordon's lesson is interrupted by the school principal calling him to the office, and as he leaves, one of his students leers at him with some serious fuck me eyes. Tapp and Singh are waiting for him to return the pen light and take him to the station, but Gordon's cleared after he reluctantly gives them an alibi that we don't get to hear just yet.
What is that alibi?
Something embarrassing, like a bad night of diarrhea. For some reason, Singh has Gordon stick around to eavesdrop on a surviving Jigsaw victim telling her tale. What the hell kind of sloppy police work?
Are they allowed to do that?
Her privacy rights are getting all kinds of
he could just look, he could see
Amanda,
it, like,
who
she
you
can
might
see
want to
him.
remember going forward, relays her story in a flashback replete with more music video style editing. She woke up in a room with the most infamous trap of the series fixed around her head. A reverse bear trap, as explained to her
What do you mean
by
reverse
the puppet
bear?
in his
Like
premiere
instead
appearance.
of closing it opens?
I want to play a game.
The device is hooked to her upper and lower jaws, and when the timer runs out, well, this happens. Oh, that poor wig. The key to unlock the device is in the stomach of Amanda's supposedly dead cellmate, but after she thrashes her way out of the chair and starts the timer, it becomes evident that the dude on the ground by her is not in fact dead, but rather very much alive. Still, Amanda came here to win, so she puts it all on the field
this is
and grabs
about
the
choices.
knife to carve this dude's stomach open like a jack-o'-lantern. She stabs him
guess
a
she
whole
could have
heap
just...
of times,
What if she
tearing
just sat in
apart
the
his
chair and
guts
didn't play?
searching through his entrails to find his stomach, which has the key inside. She manages to get the trap off just before it turns her head into styrofoam dust, and her victory parade of Billy and his trademark red tricycle comes out of the shadows to congratulate her.
Congratulations. Most people are so ungrateful to be alive, but not you. Not anymore.
Good job, Amanda.
Oh,
you
so
won
she's going to
gratitude.
appreciate
Tap
her
mentions that
life
she was
now?
a drug addict, which again, pretty harsh rehab treatment there, Jigsaw. But I guess in her case,
I don't think that's gonna fix it.
Back in the ship,
That might make it
bathroom,
worse.
Adam discovers the mirror glass that broke off is two-way, and when he busts out the remaining glass, they find a camera in the medicine cabinet. Unbeknownst to either bathroom boy,
Wow, that
the
camera
other side
quality.
of the camera is someone watching them with a taunting voice.
I can see you.
Gordon talks about his family for a while and tosses his wallet to Adam so he can see a picture of the Gordon clan.
Wow.
But inside the wallet
Kept
is a
his
pic
wallet.
you probably wouldn't want to send out with the Christmas cards. On the back of this scary terrorist picture is a reminder that X marks the spot, but with an additional clue saying sometimes you see more with your eyes shut. That doesn't
What
make
does that
sense.
mean?
Adam doesn't divulge this information.
Or is it about
to Doc,
the-
and instead pockets
when he
the
dropped
scary
the thing?
pic for himself. Another flashback takes us to the last time Gordon
Well, he
saw
doesn't
his
want to have
family after
motivation.
His daughter Diana woke up his wife Allison to say there was a bad man in her room. Gordon helped put Diana back to bed by playing Leppy Boy's favorite game.
Wait, isn't he a doctor?
Right in the
Doesn't
middle
have,
of
like, a
wee, wee,
security
wee,
system in his
he gets
house?
interrupted by his beeper going off. On his way to answer the call, he gets into an argument with Allison in their weird fucking living room. What is that curtain? They have a little stage
That's
back there?
true.
Maybe they should use it to
Low
promote
budget,
this
I'm
marital
guessing.
drama they've got going on, since their relationship is obviously on the ropes. Gordon leaves, and back in Diana's room, she
Been
sees
there,
an
done
eye
that.
peeping out of her closet. Her scream brings Alice into the room to find a ghost. Nah, it's
God.
not a ghost. It's just a mean-spirited son of a bitch who holds the Gordon family hostage in their own home.
Oh, he
Plays a
actually
sick
did
game
cap-
where he
I guess
listens
that's
to
how he has the
Diana's
picture.
heartbeat rise as he holds a gun up to her mom's head. Viewers watching the top of the frame see that this bastard is Zepp the orderly. Is Zepp Jigsaw?
Wait.
I don't know. As Zepp
Wait,
Saw looks
that's-
out the window,
what?
he's spied upon by someone through a camera. It's Detective Tap, working out of a room with crazy all over the walls and
So
growling
why are
about
they on
Gordon.
him?
Never should have let you go.
Heads up, this is now the present, but you'd be forgiven if you didn't know, since these flashbacks forget to announce themselves half the time. To maybe
Oh,
try
you
to
just
help
have
with the
to figure
confusion,
out
the
that
movie has
you're
a
in the
minute-long
past?
recap montage. But you're not even halfway over yet, Saw. This kind of hand-holding will be useful later on when the story gets crazy, but come on, we just
It
watched
hasn't
all
got
this
crazy
shit.
yet?
At least the montage gives us this insane goddamn transition where a car drives in front of a rueful-looking Danny Glover. What the fuck is that? Oh yeah, and now we're back in the past.
That's a
Tap
crazy
let Gordon go
transition.
after they all shared popcorn watching Amanda's messed up testimony. It must be haunting Tap, since he goes straight back to the station and rewatches the Jigsaw
Krispy Kreme.
tape over and over again, like it's
Wow,
his favorite
that's
YouTube
a
channel.
North Carolina
only
thing.
helping Jigsaw's ad revenue.
Well, it
Tap.
started
His
here.
obsessive rewatching pays off though when he hears a fire alarm in the background and notes a gang symbol on a wall. He and Sing check which fire alarms went off within the gang's territory, and voila, they're headed to an abandoned warehouse to get themselves a Jigsaw, not bothering with a warrant or
Wait,
any backup
really?
at all. Nothing could go wrong here. Inside the warehouse,
Wait,
they
no
find an open
warrant?
space office that Jigsaw must use as a home base, and a
shotgun.
crafting center. Oh, look at his cute little shoebox.
Well, they found the
diorama.
lair,
He'll definitely
kind
get
of,
an A on
maybe.
that. He'll also probably pass his kidnapping quiz because they find a dude there under a red blanket, tied up and captured in a trap. Traptured? When they hear the
Trapped.
elevator coming up, Tap wants to hide and pretend they're not there to, I don't know, see what Jigsaw does or something. It
As
doesn't
if
make
he
any
doesn't have
sense.
cameras
Just arrest
there.
the guy in the elevator. But instead, they watch from the shadows as
Why are
Jigsaw
they-
in a
they should
snazzy
definitely
black
tell
and
him to
red robe
stop.
checks on his captive and spouts off his arrogant bullshit.
Don't cry. I've given your life a purpose.
The detectives
Oh,
come out,
really?
having given up the high ground. Jigsaw's
With
able
a
to
hostage
kickstart
right
the
there.
trap and frustrate them by saying the key to
Yeah,
unlock
why-
it is
they-
in this
that's
giant
why you
ring.
stop him
Tap
at the
calls
elevator.
Jigsaw sick as he tries to arrest him, and Jigsaw's all like, "Yeah, I'm sick of your attitude." Just kidding, he's actually sick from cancer. Sing finally
Oh,
gets
that's not
some
good.
sense
Rest in
and
peace,
shoots
Rabbit,
trap
by
to
the way.
pieces.
If you watch
But that's
Van
when
Wiki.
Jigsaw uses a hidden sleeve blade to
Oh,
slash
Assassin's
Tap's throat
Creed.
and run the hell away. Sing gives chase
Oh, wait.
to Jigsaw, and
He
even
doesn't live
manages
through
to
that,
shoot
does
him
he?
in this dingy hallway. Good shot, Sing.
Wow.
But don't forget that Jigsaw is a boob man, by which I mean booby traps, because when Sing steps through some cobwebs, he trips
And-
a wire attached to a bunch of ceiling-mounted shotguns that fire down and
That's
blow
the-
his freaking head off.
that's
Like
the
a lot
worst
of this
kind.
movie's gore, it's not super explicit, but it's still a pretty cool kill. Plus, it's finally a character death that we actually care about. Jigsaw gets
True.
up and leaves, only a little worse for wear, right as
Little-
Tap arrives to see Sing dead and get photographed crying out in anguish. He didn't actually get photographed, but the bizarre
does he
editing
die
sure makes
as well?
it a little confusing. This movie's
Oh.
so damn messy. Present-day Tap speaks raspily from his
Oh, he
now
did survive.
healed throat
Okay.
wound as we're reminded that he's watching Zepp, who is still watching Gordon and Adam. Oh yeah, Gordon
Wait,
and
Zepp
Adam.
is-
Can we get back to those bathroom
Zepp's not
boys
the guy,
already
right?
and move the story forward instead of back?
Isn't- it's the
Thanks.
cancer
Adam
guy,
finally
right?
decides to act
The
on that
patient?
photo hint and tells Gordon to turn off the lights. That reveals an X on the wall that didn't show up before because the glow-in-the-dark paint hadn't charged yet. Gordon busts through
Oh.
to find a locked box. And once again, us
What's in it?
escape
Is
room
it a
pros
key?
are eagerly raising our hands to say, hey, the key from earlier should open that bad boy up. And it does.
Oh,
Inside
and
is
a flip
cell
phone.
a couple of cigarettes, and a secret note to Gordon saying the cigarettes aren't necessarily poison, at least not yet. Gordon tries the phone, but it doesn't work because it's only meant to receive calls. And
how does that work?
What, another
What are these
flashback?
cars?
Okay,
Whoa.
sure. We're in a parking garage in a scene that looks soap operatic.
I mean, there was a
for some
BMW,
reason,
that's a
when Gordon
Buick.
fails to
I
notice
think another
the camera
BMW?
flash to the face. He also fails to notice this red robe-clad pig-headed person crawling on the ground towards him.
Pighead.
The pighead rushes him, and jump cuts aplenty get us back inside the shit room, where Gordon
So anyway, I
is
started
questioning
lasting.
how Adam knew to turn off the lights. After some grilling, Adam reveals the wallet picture to Gordon, who's
Oh,
so
he
spooked
didn't
by
look
it,
in the
he can't
wallet?
help but
Oh.
yell out in rage.
What are you doing to them, you bastard?
This kind of
Well,
desperation might
you
just
can
drive
see.
a man to murder. And Gordon eyes the note, the bathroom body's blood on the ground, and the cigarette, and puts all the jigsaw pieces together. He dips the cig into the very poisonous blood while Adam isn't looking, but then he turns
What?
off the
And
lights
then
and,
he does
whispers something
what?
to Adam that neither Zepp nor the audience can hear. When
How
the
did-
lights come back on, they stage a little play, wherein Gordon offers Adam a
Wait, they're
smoke, but
actually
gives
playing
him
it
an
against him?
unpoisoned cigarette instead. Adam smokes it and gives a very poor performance of a man being poisoned to death.
How do they know what kind of poison
unconvincing that
it
he
is?
gets heckled in the form of a shock through the ankle chain that makes him break kayfabe. Good plan though, Gordy. The shock
Wait.
apparently zaps some memory back into Adam's brain.
Could that work?
Cue another
Wait, that could work?
flashback where Adam gets home to his crappy apartment and into his homemade darkroom to develop pictures of, wait
Wow,
for it,
a homemade
Dr.
dark-
Lawrence goddamn Gordon. Later
Wait.
on, after a dark room
Wait, he
nap,
knows
Adam
the
wakes up
doctor?
to find all the lights in his apartment are off, which leads to perhaps the best constructed scene of the movie. Adam stalks around the darkened apartment.
Let me guess, somebody's gonna be right behind him?
Camera flash to get snapshots
Oh,
of
that's
visibility.
so-
It's nice and creepy,
Oh.
especially when the silence is broken by this.
And then you're just gonna see.
That laugh belongs to Bill E. Puppet, who's lounging on a lazy boy. Adam takes a bat to Billy and beats that puppet! But he should probably be more
Does that
concerned
happen
about the
often?
pighead in the closet, and that's how Adam wound up in the shit room. Gordon gets a call on the cell phone
Yeah,
from his tearful daughter saying, "Yo, you fucked up not
If
getting
something
that
goes
bad man out my
wrong
room,
in my
Bob."
house
Allison
and I hear a
takes the
noise
line
as I
next
live
and tells
alone,
Gordon that Adam lied
no
to him
animals or
and knows
anything,
it. But then the line goes dead.
I
Gordon
clear the
demands to know
rooms.
who Adam is, and he responds sounding
with
like
not a
real
bat.
guilty little boy.
You know who I am.
That line delivery is the scariest thing in the movie so far. In response to being called
Was he
a liar,
pretending to
Adam
be
throws it
something?
back at Gordon and says, "No, you." And we flash back
No,
again
you.
to that soap opera parking garage where we see Adam is responsible for the earlier seen face flash. Cool. Then we see what
Oh.
else was in that plastic bag from the toilet tank. Adam's pictures of Gordon that he's been collecting for days since he
For
gets
who?
paid to track rich dudes having affairs. Affairs like the one Gordon almost had with that thirsty grad student
Oh.
in the hotel room. That's right, I said almost, since he stops it
Almost.
before anything happens.
What is that
When he
watch?
leaves,
Is that
he goes,
Daytona?
"Oh
Looks like
my
gold
God,
Daytona."
back to that parking garage for
How
the
many
third
times are they gonna
time
use
in
the
like
same
10
scene?
minutes? Yeah, Saw. We know there's a camera flash.
Or maybe they're just
Gordon
trying to show that there was,
questions
like, so
Adam
much
about
going on
who
in
needed to
one
take
scene that we
pictures,
didn't know
and
at
it turns
first.
out to be none other than Detective David Tapp. Damn, Tapp, aren't you getting too old for this shit? Gordon tells Adam all about Tapp in another montage wherein Carrie Elwes kind of slips into his English accent when he says the word murders.
Convinced himself that I must have somehow been involved with the murders.
Haha, that's fun.
Oh,
We're
is he
having
actually
fun.
English?
Right, guys? Adam
Oh.
sees a picture he didn't take and shows it to Gordon, who recognizes the person looking out a dirty old
Oh,
window.
he knows
It's a Zepp
exactly
in
who-
that picture, y'all. Whoa.
And now he
Gordon
knows that
starts
there
yelling
is-
about how he's
does
gonna
that mean
pop
that, like,
little
people
pipsqueak.
aren't gonna-
Time's up, Gordo. It's 6 o'clock and looks to me like Adam is still alive. Luckily, Allison is able to discreetly escape her ties before Zepp comes in to kill her. And when he calls
Why was that
Gordon
not
up to
already
tell him
loaded?
Bad news, Allison fights back and wrestles with Zepp over his gun.
There we
A few
go.
Shots go off, which alerts Tapp across the street that shit's going down. Then Allison subdues Zepp with some scissors to the leg.
Oh,
Tapp
yeah,
breaks
nope,
into the
that's
apartment
bad.
and gets in a shootout with
But
Zepp,
that's not even,
during
like,
which
the
Allison
Jigsaw.
and Diana escape from the house and the series. Zepp smashes
In the
face
series,
with
are they
Tapp's head
never
and
seen
runs off,
again?
saying he's got to go run some errands and kill Dr. Gordon. Tapp recovers.
Does he
and
need to push a
chases
button
him
to
in
do
the
that?
absolute worst car chase I've ever seen in a movie. It's just crazily edited shots of
And
the
it's
two of
also
them
sped
driving.
up.
Wow, this is real bad. Gordon doesn't realize
Or maybe they
his
just
family
sped it
got
up,
away
actually.
because all he hears
Maybe.
is OK Corral going down over the phone. So in order to escape and save them, he ties
he
a
act-
shirt tourniquet around his leg.
No,
Tourniquet?
don't
And
do
prepares
it.
to earn this movie its name. While there are a couple shots of him sawing at his ankle, most of the amputation is left to the imagination and shown through shots of a horrified Adam and a crazed
I might have to
Dr.
blur
Gordon.
that.
We never even see the end result. We just know he's done when he tosses the
It's a
saw.
movie, YouTube. It's a
Meanwhile,
movie.
Tapp chases Zepp down into some tunnels and manages to get him up against the wall. But Zepp escapes by slinking down and shooting Tapp, catching him in the chest,
Oh, Tapp's
and
actually-
surprisingly killing him. This really is
Oh,
the end for
after-
Detective Tapp, who falls to the floor dead. Unsurprisingly,
After what just
Danny
happened? Or maybe they
Glover
weren't
would be one
expecting
of the
this
few
franchise
actors
to take
in the
off like
series
this.
who never returned for even so much as a flashback. Lawrence crawls
Really?
his way over to the bathroom body and takes its gun, which he loads with Chekhov's
No,
bullets
no,
from the
no,
beginning.
no, no.
He's pale as a ghost as he apologetically tells Adam that he's got to do what he's got to do.
You have to die.
What if he misses?
I want to live! I want
sorry.
He shoots his bathroom buddy to the ground and cries out that, come on, he did it, let him go now. But when Zep shows up to the party,
but Zep's
he tells
gonna
Gordon it's too late. Them's the rule.
He
Goes
knows.
to shoot Gordon, but gets tripped to the ground by a still living Adam, who realizes that fists are too good for Zep.
Wait, Bert just got
he
shot in the
grabs toilet
chest.
tank lid and beats Zep's head to a bloody pulp with it. Once again, it's not that explicit, the entire thing being shown through low angle.
Well, maybe
shots
Adam
of
be okay.
Lee Winnell sells it, and the kill ends nicely.
But
with
then
the
is he
tank
still
lid
he's
breaking.
still gonna
Gordon
kill
crawls over
Adam
to
though
and tries to
because
offer
Adam knows
some
about the
comfort.
affair.
I have to go and get help.
Yeah, if I'm Adam, I'm not convinced this is gonna
Yeah,
work.
no,
This
it's not.
bub the
Not
zombie
when
looking
he
one-footed
knows.
motherfucker is supposed to be his salvation. Color me skeptical,
Yeah,
or
he got
color me
real pale.
cynical. I don't care. Just color me something, so I don't look like this Dr. Gordon ghoul. He crawls out, promising to bring someone back to help him, but Adam
doesn't.
wisely starts looking for his own rescue in the form of a key on Zep's body.
No.
Instead, he finds a tape player, revealing
plays
that
what?
Zep is not the evil mastermind of this movie. He's merely been a pawn this whole time.
Hello, Mr. Hindle, or
And
as
he
they
just-
called you around the hospital, Zap.
The tape reveals Zep was poisoned by Jigsaw and could only earn the
Oh.
antidote by kidnapping the
Oh.
Gordon family and killing them if Lawrence failed. This is an amazing
Wait,
twist
what?
if you didn't know it was coming. And I'll
I thought he
forever
was
remember
working
seeing
with
this
him.
the first time and having my freaking mind blown. Adam's freaking mind is blown too. And
Oh.
as he sits there in astonishment,
I guess
we get another great image. That
the
of
guy on the
bathroom
floor is
body
fine.
slowly waking up from its 8-hour nap and getting in
I
a
would be
well-deserved cat
so-
stretch. This is John Kramer, the man we saw in Gordon's
Wait,
hospital bed.
so he just
He
took
is
an
the real
8-hour
Jigsaw
nap on the
killer,
floor,
the
didn't move?
mastermind behind
How did he-
everything we've seen
how did
so
he not
far.
see him
Tells
breathe or
Adam
anything?
how he was supposed to escape
Maybe
all
in the
along.
situation.
Key to that chain is in the bathtub.
But that's pretty shitty, John. Adam didn't even have a chance to retrieve that thing. After a crazy quick montage showing many of this movie's moments, Jigsaw turns off the lights and delivers the most amazing final words of a horror
gonna
movie
leave
I've
him there?
ever seen.
Game over.
Oh, game over.
Fuck yes.
Is the
Adam was
doctor
left
going to
screaming
escape,
in the
though?
dark, but he doesn't go on this kill count. You're just gonna have to trust me during this series.
Sure,
Plenty of
I
other
trust
people
you,
did
James.
wind up on the count though, so let's see how many at the numbers.
But these. Oh no, James. Oh no. See, if people just listen to James and were
6
good people,
died in Saw,
maybe they
because
wouldn't
Amanda
end up
was
in
able
Saw.
to escape her trap. All the victims were male. So
maybe if they watched
off
kill
the
count, they
series
could've
with
prevented-
Blueberry pie right there.
Oh.
With a runtime of 103 minutes, we got a kill on average of 17.12
As
minutes,
he's-
which
he's
is
like-
a little slow, but
I think he's
the
on
game
one
has
foot.
just begun. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Zep. It doesn't happen on screen like a lot of the gore here, but it's still
What?
effective
Is he
because
talking
of
about
Adam's
for the-
unbridled rage. Plus, killing someone with a toilet tank lid is good stuff no matter
And
how
somehow
it's
it didn't
done.
break.
Machete for lamest kill definitely goes to Tab. A single slug to the chest is no way for Roger Murtaugh to go out. And guess what? For the Saw series kill counts, I'm proud to announce 2 new awards that I'll be handing
Wait,
out
oh,
in
there's
each
two- there's
episode.
new
The
awards?
Platinum Punji sticks will go to the coolest trap in each movie, regardless
Oh,
of
for
if
the
they
Saw
killed
series.
anyone
Okay.
or not.
It's gonna be the
inaugural winner
shotgun.
will of course be the reverse bear trap
Oh,
that Amanda
okay, maybe
escaped.
not.
Despite not getting to see its end result, this trap has become the quintessential
Also,
Saw trap.
Punji
and it's
sticks,
so
aren't
violent
those
that you even
Viet
kinda
Cong?
feel for the mannequin head that gets destroyed during the demo. Conversely, the rusty mouse trap,
Which
goes
is
to
the worst.
movie's
It's probably
latest
gonna be
trap.
the-
I'll give this
the
one
razor
to
wire.
Adam's bathroom trap, because like what? His whole game was to just not let the key go down the drain when he woke up.
Oh,
and
really?
that's
That was it?
Saw came out in 2004
That count
and
as a
changed
trap?
the horror genre
Maybe.
forever. Not everything about it holds up 14 years later, but it still deserves recognition for how influential it was. I'll take a look at the first sequel, Saw 2, next week. But
Well, I'll do it
until
in
then,
this
I'm James
video
Anthony.
because we're trying to get caught up on these kill counts.
Thanks a lot for
Because I
watching
love these
today's
kill counts.
Count. New series, new set. How do you
I-
like it?
I
Have some more
absolutely
Saw
love
props
James's
coming in
sense
the
of
mail.
humor.
They didn't
It
arrive in
just
time. But don't worry,
gets me.
next time you see this background, it's gonna be even fancier. It's a work in progress.
Awesome.
This whole thing. I've had a crazy couple of weeks with Monster Palooza and taxes and preparing for Texas Frightmare coming up. But you'll get that
Yeah,
Monster Palooza
yeah, I
video
feel
soon
the
next
taxes.
week. And,
I feel
be good
that.
people.
Oh, well.
Movie
how
footage
you know it's
used
gonna
in
be
the
a good
kill
one.
count is owned entirely by the copyright holders. Dead Meat makes
I'm guessing
no
they
claim to
had
ownership
some
and
copyright
simply
issues.
uses the footage for purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support filmmakers and the art of filmmaking by watching Saw 2 in its entirety on home media or
I might
streaming
need to.
services where available.
Like, I'm learning about so many series through kill counts, like the
Welcome to
Belko
Kill Count,
experiment.
where we tally up the victims
Like,
in all our favorite horror movies.
I would
I'm
love
James Agenese,
to
and
watch
today we're looking at
Belko
Saw
experiment
2, released
after
in
Kill Count.
2005,
Never heard of it.
a single year after the original Rock the
Actually,
World
my
before.
TV hasn't
What's
been
great
on
about
in-
Saw 2 is that it basically
Oh,
takes
today's
all the
been a
good
month.
parts of Saw
4
1
weeks.
and does them bigger and better.
Since my TV's
probably
been
since
on.
it had 4 times the budget. But it also helps that a bunch of the crew from the original returned to give the sequel a lot of love and care. Although
What
Juan
do you
and
mean, the
Winnell were
crew?
busy
I
at the
thought-
time with Dead Silence,
people that
their
made it.
movie about a different Billy the Puppet, they helped develop the story, and Winnell co-wrote the script. Basically what I'm saying is that all hands were on deck for this movie, and it shows. With Jigsaw's identity out in the open, we also get Tobin
he done
Bell
other
for the
stuff?
entire movie, and that's a huge plus. You all know I hate Jigsaw's flawed and condescending ideology, but I love Tobin Bell.
Wait, does he
and his
actually? I didn't know he
amazing
hated
portrayal
it.
of the character. He's so good at being a dick. I could talk all day about how intriguing Jigsaw is as a horror movie killer, but right now, let's see how many characters he'll claim not to have murdered and get to the kills.
Claim not to have murdered. So he literally tries to say that because
Saw 2 knows what we're here for, so right away we get a new
Another
Jigsaw
bear trap.
that'll give your face some overzealous acupuncture. I'm sure this dude Mike is wondering how it works, so let's go to our senior torture trap correspondent, Billy the Puppet. Billy?
I want to play a game.
Billy tells Michael that he's a snitch,
Okay.
and so here's the sitch. Mike's got a death mask around
he
his
rhyme?
neck, and if he doesn't unlock it before the timer runs out, it'll close.
Think of it like a Venus flytrap.
Oh, and also, as
Oh,
this
yeah,
tape
Venus
reveals, the
flytrap,
key
yeah.
to it has been placed underneath his eye. Looks pretty difficult. The timer
Oh.
goes off, and Mike takes a scalpel and comes real close to going for the subocular key. Come on, man.
Dude,
it's only one eye.
the
Just live out the rest
mental-
of your days with an eye patch. Be a freaking pirate. But Michael knows he gets
sh-
seasick, so instead he gives up and drops to his knees, defeated. Saw 2 is all like, you thought Saw 1 had crazy editing? Hold my keyboard.
Oh,
These
yeah,
crazy
that's all
flash
over the
cuts come
place.
to an end when the mask clamps shut on Mike's head, killing him quickly and with a nice ooze of blood after his body falls to the
Yeah,
floor.
that would
kind
do
of
it.
kill deserves a title card.
I wonder-
Since most of the
I wonder what
characters
award
from
that
part
one's gonna
1
win.
were left apparently dead, except Tap, I guess, who survived until the video game where he killed himself at the end. I didn't know that,
What?
but you all sure did.
There's
We're
a
gonna
Saw
need some
video
new kids
game?
on the block for this one. So good thing Donnie Wahlberg is here as Detective Eric
Oh,
Matthews.
one of the
Sadly, not
Wahlberg.
the brother with great hair from Boy Meets World. He has to pick up his son Daniel, Eric Knudsen, who's being held at the police station because he's a little pickpocketing troublemaker. Better keep an eye on him, Matthews. First it's pickpocketing. Next thing you know, he's streaming his life 24/7 and lying to ghost faces about his sexual orientation. They have a fraught relationship, and since Matthews is played by a Wahlberg, he also has some
trying to
anger
remember.
issues.
Well, then go!
Hey,
Dude,
remember that
Scream
time a
was so
car
long
ran
ago.
over Danny Glover as a transition? What if we had Donnie
Yeah.
Wahlberg walk out of his apartment straight onto a crime scene? Whoa! Oh,
Okay,
hey,
no,
it's
that's
Detective
a cool
Carey. She was
transition.
only in 2 scenes in the previous movie, but now she's back and way more important. Get used to that. She takes him to Mike's body,
that
and
the bad
Matthews
thing?
notices that Mike has that puzzle piece skin carving thing.
Why
that's
does he
so
take a
hot
puzzle
right now.
piece?
Kids these days. There's a ceiling message for Matthews telling him to look closer, but Matthews is currently stuck
they
in
say
a desk
Detective
job due to
Matthews?
some
Like, does he
past
know who's
incident that
on the
surely
job?
involved that Wahlberg temper. Also, his wife just left him due to an affair he had with Carrie, so things are pretty rough for him right now. At least he found Wahlburgers, dude. But that night, he realizes that the metal on Mike's
Yeah,
trap was
consequences
made at
for your
Wilson
actions,
Steel,
I guess?
which has an abandoned factory nearby. So he joins Carrie and this other guy, Detective Daniel Rigg, as they take a whole SWAT team there to get Jigsaw. Budget. But they should know better than to interrupt Jigsaw's
on a
reading
wheelchair?
and tea time. Inside, the cops leading the way run into Jigsaw's attack puppet.
You think they would be warned
Fall
about
victim to a
traps
simple
and
trap
stuff?
on the staircase that simply breaks this dude's shins. Sucks, guy, but at least you get to survive. These other
Does he
two
actually?
cops who back up into an electrocuted cage,
Do
not
not.
so much as far as I can tell. So I'm gonna add these schmoes to the list. They're never seen moving again, so don't at me.
Yeah,
or whatever.
you would
The
think
rest of
they
the
would have
squad moves
taken
in,
a different
led by
route.
Rigg,
Also,
and they
those
corner
MP5s?
Jigsaw at gunpoint. He can't stand up because he's got a bunch of medical stuff hooked up to him, so they cuff him on the spot.
Wait,
Matthews
so they
tries to be
actually
cool
caught
Is this close
Jigsaw?
enough?
but you can't out-cool Tobin Bell. Dude's straight up ice in a sick old man's body. And although they want to take him to the station, he ain't going nowhere.
Actually, I will need to remain here while you deal with your problem, Detective Matthews.
The problem
what is
he's
the
thinking
problem?
of is on a bunch of monitors that Matthews uncovers. They show a group of people looking sad somewhere. Among them,
Looking
his son
sad.
Daniel. When Matthews confronts Jigsaw, the evil bastard snarks it up.
Do they
and tells
still
him
need
that
to
in
have him
2
at
hours,
gunpoint
the
if
poison in Daniel's body will result
they
in a very
looked for
messy
weapons?
death.
There will be blood.
Oh yeah, that doesn't sound like a murderer at all. Jigsaw tells
yeah.
Matthews that Daniel is in a safe place, and we're on the clock.
think he's
even though
safe.
It looks like
Is it because he has a
Jigsaw doesn't
choice?
have a lot of time to spare. Although he did have enough time to set up this little gag.
You've reached Daniel's phone. He's not in right now.
Like all Saw movies, Saw 2 portrays 2 storylines.
knew all this was gonna
contradicting,
happen.
A cop plot and a trap plot. The trap plot in this movie follows Daniel and 7 others who have woken up together in a strange and dirty house. Hey, at least it's not the shit room. They're being watched
That's
by
true.
cameras, and their personalities run the gamut from calm and rational to hot-headed and confrontational to dudes sleeping on the subway that you hope doesn't wake up before you stop. And then there's this chick. Wait a minute, that
So
Natalie
accurate.
Imbruglia haircut can't fool me. I know her. Isn't
Who?
that? Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
The bear trap.
like I
lady.
said.
She is pissed to be back
Did-
in another trap. Hey,
did
at least
she
she knows how
change?
to play these
Did
games.
she
And
learn?
Behind the bricks in the fireplace, she finds a tape player with a message to everyone in the room.
What these walls offer for you is salvation.
Oh, he's offering
Really,
them
salvation.
Now, did they get that before or after they have to mutilate themselves? Here
Yeah.
are the rules for this one. All of them are breathing in that nerve gas that'll kill them in 2 hours, but the house they're in will unlock in 3. If they can find the various antidotes hidden around the house, they can survive long enough to escape. The first antidote is in the safe
definitely
right
a
there.
workaround,
The
by the way.
combination is apparently known to everyone in the room.
The numbers are in the back of your mind.
The last clue for them is that they're all connected to each other, and if they
back
want to
of
know
your
how,
mind?
well, X marks the spot.
Let the game begin.
And
They
we're
have to
off.
know
Also
what
had
number
Xavier
they are,
picks
but
up
how
a
do they know
key
what
with a
order?
note saying not to use it on the door to that room. And despite Amanda's pleading,
It's
to
gonna
follow
get stuck.
instructions,
It's
he
gonna
goes
get
for it
stuck.
anyway.
It's
The
gonna
key
get
triggers
stuck.
a door trap that fires off a revolver straight through the peephole.
Why
This
would you
dude
check the
Gus's
peephole?
eye. It's kind of cool, I guess, but that trap is so unlikely to succeed. What are the odds someone would be looking through the peephole as
That's a
the
crazy
key?
trap, though.
Whatever, I guess. We needed an early kill, and Gus will do nicely. When the others question Amanda about how she knew
Also,
what
why is
she
it always
knew,
a
she says
revolver?
they're there because of Jigsaw. They've heard of him.
He's a serial killer.
Exactly. He's a murderer.
No, he's not. He's testing us.
Yeah, Amanda, that doesn't preclude
yeah.
him from being a serial killer.
They're not
He can
mutually
hand out a
exclusive.
quiz and still murder people. Back in the cop plot, Rig orders the tech team to come and trace
James
the
is
video
right.
feed, while Jigsaw tells Matthews that all he wants from him is his time. In exchange for that and a private conversation, he promises he'll see his son again. Rig wants to just rough Jigsaw up, but Carrie
What do you
convinces
want?
Matthews to give this diplomacy a chance. He sits down for a coffee combo with John Kramer, who gets straight to the
I saw
point.
that.
I want to play a game.
I saw that
And,
camera.
yeah,
Why'd
he
you do
calls
that?
himself John and says he only cuts out those puzzle pieces to represent the fact that his victims are missing a vital piece of the human puzzle, the survival instinct. Wow, Jigsaw, you're like so deep, dude.
Yeah.
He taunts Matthews and tries to instigate some good old-fashioned police brutality out of him, but for now, Donnie Boy is playing good cop. Even getting the
Also,
nice
how
old
does he have
murderer
the strength
man
to do
some
this if he
water. Trap
has,
plot time,
like,
where
that
the door to
serious
this
of
room
cancer?
suddenly opens to free the occupants.
You know?
Outside, they find a few items for their party, like a +2 damage baseball bat and a
+2.
flashlight to see in dim lighting. They find a door marked exit, but behind it is just metal shutters, so Xavier's brute force
What?
technique ain't gonna work. Jonas notices a prison tattoo on Xavier's gigantic bicep and figures out that at least 3 of them have done time. Later on, both Amanda
that a
and
part
this
of the
chick Laura will
combination?
fess up to having been in jail too. But Daniel so far avoided incarceration,
Because
so maybe
of
that's
his
not the
dad.
thing they all have in common. Or maybe it is somehow. That's for later though. Right now, Laura finally
maybe
does
somebody
something other
else
than
got-
cry and finds a hidden doorway.
got
Everyone inside
arrested
the
or
cubby
got-
leads
was
to
found
a
guilty of a
basement
crime he
where creepy
committed or
dummy in a
something?
hoodie has a note addressed to Ben Kenobi. Oh no, I guess it's pronounced Abby. Abby is that super sketchy dude, and the message on his tape says there are 2 antidotes inside the furnace in front of them. One he can give to anyone.
I
and the
see
other
where this
as a
is
gift
going,
to
and I
him for
don't
helping
like it.
Jigsaw kidnap everyone else. Looks like Abby was an accomplice, but not an apprentice. Big difference. The tape ends with one last
Yes.
clue for him.
Once you are in hell, only the devil can help you out.
The others get real mad at him for the whole, kidnapping thing, but they don't really have the energy to
So
sustain
he
the
helped-
because this movie is pretty much
he
90
helped
minutes of
Jigsaw
people coughing. Abby
kidnap
climbs inside
them.
the furnace to get the needles, and he grabs the first one without incident. The second is a little more resistant though, and when he gives it a good tug, the door to the furnace shuts and the flames go marching in. Things go from hot to hellish in a heartbeat, and by the time
Yeah,
Abby
no, it
notices
wouldn't
that
take long.
devil Jigsaw was talking about, it's too late. Xavier manages to bust out the furnace's glass window, but Abby still burns to death among the flames while
That's-
everyone else tries to
while
shield
he's
their eyes
halfway
and ears
in
from
there.
the gruesome sight and sounds of his death. And he couldn't even get the needles out to the others. Damn it,
It's
Abby,
in his
you
other
were
hand.
only
That's
home.
crazy.
The cops see that shit go down on the monitors, so Rig really wants to beat Jigsaw up. But for now, Matthews is still listening
they have
to the carry.
no idea where they're at.
shoulder and
They
just
need
chatting
Geo Rainbow
with
to on the
Jigsaw.
case.
Yeah, that's how I feel when Jigsaw talks too.
I've never murdered anyone. The decisions are up to them.
I beg-
Putting a gun to someone's head and forcing them to pull the trigger is still murder.
Since when is force a problem for you?
Oh my god,
What?
this asshole just whatabouted his way out of that argument. He didn't even address the point. You make good dioramas, John, but you straight up flunked debate class. He flashes
Yeah, no,
back to
that's-
when he got his cancer diagnosis in Dr. Gordon's office and says that since most people don't get a known time limit on their lives, they're never able to truly appreciate living. So the
I mean,
cancer
that
made you
is-
start killing people. Got it.
No, the cancer isn't what started me in my work.
Okay,
What?
well,
No,
there's your
he says
out.
He got his inspiration to kill people after he tried to kill himself by driving his car off a cliff. He survived, obviously, and from that day forward, he became the condescending asshole that thinks everyone has to try what he did. Like your friend who took mushrooms in college and won't shut the fuck up about it.
Appreciate life. Do
I
not
do not have a
deserve
friend like
life.
that.
This fucking guy. One little car crash, and all of a sudden he's the arbiter
He-
of what lives are worth
he doesn't
living.
get to
Let's
decide
back to the people
that.
dying of poison. Somehow that's less frustrating than Jigsaw.
I
Daniel talks to
understand
Amanda, who says that the
what
first time
he's
Jigsaw
trying
kidnapped
to
her, it was
say,
because she was a junkie,
but it's not
and
right.
This time must be because she started cutting herself. Oh yeah, Amanda, you don't want to let Jigsaw catch you doing that.
That's
a whole pack of razors. The house people find
gonna
the
have to
door
blur
and
that
cough up
one.
some more blood. Xavier
I don't know
forces
how
his
much
way
of this
into
is
the
gonna
room
have copyright
only to
issues.
find
Hopefully it doesn't
another
take too
door,
long.
and this one has a
Hopefully the
4-minute
video goes
timer
up on the right day.
An envelope with Xavier's name on it has a tape in it that's all like,
If it's
"Yo,
delayed,
what up,
it's always
Axe? You know, I'm
copyright.
a drug dealer and shit." Well, to get that antidote behind that door, you've got to find a key in this pit of syringes. Also, if you don't do it before the timer runs out, the door will lock forever.
It will be like
Not-
finding a needle in a haystack.
Hell of a
Maybe
great trap.
dump out all the
Xavier wants to
syringes.
outsource the work to Amanda, so he tosses her into the pit for the most
Oh,
painful
you can't.
fucking
It's a
thing
big
to
pit in the
watch
floor.
A movie full of painful fucking things to watch. The scene just gets nastier and nastier as Amanda looks for the key, especially when the timer gets down to a minute and she just fucking goes for it. Holy shit, this is so painful. But remember, Amanda's got that will to survive.
And these are, like,
she perseveres
used.
and finds the key, which is attached to a syringe on loan from Dr.
I don't have a
Zimmer's
problem
lab.
with needles.
Too bad Xavier fumbles and drops it when he goes to open the door.
Like,
It shuts
I don't-
forever, making them what? Like
All that for
0 when it comes
nothing?
to antidotes at this point? The cops are still waiting for the world's slowest tech team to arrive when Carrie gets the idea to
Wait, really?
wreck
They weren't
Jigsaw by
ready
way
for
of
this?
his work. Matthews gives it a go, jump cutting the paper to pieces, but Jigsaw isn't perturbed at all. He just needles Matthews, metaphorically, not literally.
Yeah.
Amanda,
Like,
by
yeah, no,
bringing
her,
up past
yeah.
incidents like when Matthews would gun down unarmed suspects or plant evidence for convictions. That's why they call him Dirty Donnie W.
Wait, he
Right
would
when
do
tech
that?
team
Oh,
finally
well,
shows
that's not
up,
good.
Jigsaw makes a power move and
But his
reveals
son
that
didn't do
everyone
that.
in the
His
house
son's
with
just
Daniel
not
was arrested
great.
by Matthews, and in true Dirty Don fashion, he had them convicted using planted evidence. Sounds like the stakes for Daniel just got higher than a
Wait,
druggie
so
in
the
a pit of
people-
syringes.
so the
Trap
people
house
that
is
are in
pretty
there that
visual
did
to return
time
to, since the poison is
are
kicking
connected
everyone's
to
ass
Matthews
against the
because he
wall right.
wrongfully
Xavier discovers a number on the
convicted
back
them,
of Gus's
or
head and remembers the
led
clue
to their
about the
conviction.
safe combination. The numbers are on the back of their minds. Jonas picks the wrong time to stumble in and spit out all his strawberry bubblegum. When he tries
Ew.
to make conversation and peace, Xavier responds by pulling out that knife. And after a good old-fashioned prison yard style brawl, Xavier puts an end to Jonas with that spiky baseball bat, driving it deep
Is it,
into
like,
the back
inside of
his
his
head,
head?
clear as Jonas
Or can they
stumbles
just
to the ground
check
dead.
the back
His
of their
death
neck?
isn't all that gory, but it is a little sad since Jonas seemed like a nice guy. Now he's nothing more than a number. Daniel and the ladies
you
are
have to
shambling through
do
the
that?
hallways, and although Laura's knocking on death's door, she's able to remember that clue about their connection and point out a picture frame cracked in the shape of an X. And then she dies. She just succumbs to the poison and crashes
is it
around
because
on the
she's, like,
ground
smaller
until
or
she's dead in
something?
Amanda's
Or
lap.
maybe
Her
her
character
heart rate was
honestly
up?
pretty pointless,
Because
and I'm
she's
left
panicking?
wondering if they were just trying to pull in that esteemed Seventh Heaven demo by casting Beverly Mitchell. Behind the
X-frame.
is a picture of Daniel and his dad with a caption to spell it out for everyone. This pisses off Addison, and she wanders off on her
because
own.
she
Amanda
knows
gets miffed
the
too
cop.
and leaves Daniel only to
detective.
find Jonas's dead body. So she realizes that Xavier is on the offensive and returns to
Yeah.
whisk Daniel away to safety.
Also,
Meanwhile,
nobody
Xavier
even
has
tried to
found
grab
number
the
on
revolver
Hobby's
that's
safe
attached to the
outside
door?
furnace, and after finding her body, the number on
Seriously,
the back of
there's
Laura's
so
head
many,
left.
like,
She also finds the incriminating picture. so
variables that
Daniel's
could have
pretty
gone
much the
wrong
last
that ruined
person I'd
this.
wanna be
Like,
around.
what if bro didn't
Yeah,
break
no
out of the
thanks.
window
Xavier
and his
runs
head was
into
up there? They would
Amanda
never
and
have the
Danny
code.
Boy, and the cop monitors that Matthews is watching show him chasing after them. That spurs Matthews to finally take Riggs' approach to John Kramer, tossing him around the room a bunch and beating the crap out of the sick old man, while Rigg prevents Carrie from interfering. Even breaks a friggin' finger. Oh, snap! But Jigsaw just keeps talking shit.
Now that's the Eric Matthews they gave medals to.
Addison calls
Give
her way
medals
to a
to?
room with the tape that she ignores and a syringe in a glass box. But when she reaches inside to get the antidote, it spills everywhere. And pretty soon she's got both her wrists stuck in this painful-looking trap. Her screams bring Xavier
What's in
around,
the
and
trap,
lucky for
though?
him, she's in the
Why is it
perfect
bloody?
position for him to get that digit and quit it. He leaves her alone to bleed to death in private. This will
Oh.
count as Addison's death, even though we don't see her take her final breath. I think
I
this
mean,
super
you never see her
crazily edited
again.
montage of her screaming with inverted colors is enough of a punctuation on her character. At this
I
point,
guess that's
Matthews has
true.
John Kramer filleting his gun barrel, so Jigsaw finally agrees
So is
to
that a
take Matthews to the
1911?
house, but only after he shoots off
I
his
think that's a
favorite catchphrase.
1911.
Game over.
Matthews takes
kinda
Jigsaw
nuts
down
for
a secret elevator,
a
which sets
detective
the
to
rest of
carry.
the police force scrambling.
This
Right
is
as the
double
tech
stack.
team finally acquires a signal on the video feed. I told you we'd find it. You just gotta give it some time. Xavier has chased Daniel and Amanda back to the start of the game, where they keep him at
Single
bay
stack?
by jamming the baseball
Double
bat
stack.
into the door. Amanda notices some right-angle leakage in the floor, and it ends up being a hidden trap door that was below the safe. Meanwhile, Matthews is using his Jigsaw GPS like he's the Fonz, hitting it to make it work.
Where to now?
And when they finally
Oh.
arrive at their destination, Jigsaw tells him to take this key
And then
that's,
there's gonna be a
like,
trap
taped
for him.
to his hand. I'm not sure, but he makes a funny noise when Matthews grabs it. I can't tell if that was pleasure or pain.
I don't know either.
Sounds like a little of both, honestly. Jigsaw, you should meet my buddy Pinhead. And no, that's not a clue for the next kill count. Not everything's a clue. I'm not Jigsaw. Matthews enters
True.
the house.
The next kill count is
Xavier
what?
busts down the door
Happy
and
Death
sees
Day, which is a movie I have seen.
To the floor. There's a lot of
I don't think I saw the sequel, though.
The subterranean chase and Matthews finding all the nerve gas house's fun stuff, like the picture and Laura's body. It even extends to
Wait
the
a
cops
minute, is
breaking
it
into the
after
house
the fact?
that they track the signal to. But wait a minute, Carrie can't see them on the monitor.
Wait,
And
or the monitor's
actually,
not
the tunnels
live?
that Amanda and Daniel
Is
are
it
getting
actually
chased
in the
through
past?
seem kind of familiar. What's going on here? Amanda opens a sliding door and no fucking way, it's the game over door, man. The game over door. Look, it's the lights like in the first one, and the shit heart, and the body. Oh,
how
that's
long
two
has it been?
bodies.
It's
And
been a
the
while.
foot. Just a lot of dead meat in there. Also, I know we're looking at Adam's body back there, but just trust me when I don't put him on the count just yet. Xavier joins the bathroom party
What do you
where
mean?
Daniel's apparently
would Adam-
passed out, and when Amanda
Did Adam
points
not
out
go
that
in the last
Xavier
one?
can't know the number on the back of his own head if she doesn't tell him what it is, he goes ahead and proves her wrong. An awesome remix of Hello Zep, that song from
he
the
did
end of
not
the
have
first
to
movie,
go
plays
through
as
all
we
this.
get a patented saw montage.
Also, what if he-
intercut with Xavier cutting off the
How did
flesh
he
of
know
his
where
own
it
head
was?
so he can learn the number on it. He succeeds,
Also, there's a mirror,
which is
isn't
like,
there?
wow, way to be determined. But when he goes to get Amanda's number, Daniel leaps into action and slits Xavier's throat using that trusty, rusty titular saw. Xavier stumbles to his
That's a
knees
good
and
plan.
falls to the ground as Amanda and Daniel watch him bleed out. The end of a very worthy and very scary secondary antagonist. The cops have moved deeper into the house and discover a rack of monitors just like the ones at Wilson Steel. The same images are playing on them because behind curtain number 2 is a couple of VCRs, which was an old piece of technology that played things called VHSs. You'll learn about them in history class, I'm sure. When he hits pause,
it's okay. People watching this video, my audience is rather old. They probably know what the VHS is.
Live feed at all. See, the
VCR.
signal they were tracking ended up being the equipment playing the tapes that they were watching.
Most of you probably
It's
know.
another great twist, and we're not even done with them yet. Because even though Matthews is for sure in the right location, it turns out he's not there at the right time. Because remember, they had been watching a tape this whole time. The Trap House storyline events that happened earlier, 2 days earlier to be exact, and they were just being played back from that recording.
So who
that
escaped?
explains why all the bodies Matthews kept coming across were a bit more decomposed than they should have been. Look at Jonas's hand there, or Xavier's, you know, everything. Matthews sees an arm in the bathtub, and it ends up being our old friend Pighead, who stabs Matthews in the leg with a needle.
Wait, how is that him?
Back for the scene.
Wait,
Meanwhile,
who is
back
that?
at Wilson
Does
Steel,
Jigsaw have
the timer
another
that the cops
accomplice?
had thought was counting down to poison o'clock goes off, and it turns out that timer was counting down to the safe opening. What's in the safe, Carrie? Why, it's a little boy Matthews sucking down some O2 through a mask. Jigsaw did tell Eric that his son was in a safe place. That
literally a
bastard.
safe.
Derek Matthews wakes up in the
That's
shit
crazy.
room with the tape player by his side, but the tape he plays doesn't have that classic Jigsaw voice.
Wait, so
on
he
it.
wanted him? He used
Instead,
the
it's Amanda chastising Matthews for having put her away on false charges and then going into
Wait,
her
she
hero
worked? She was in on
by
it
Jigsaw,
again?
calling him a
They're
father
all.
and a
So many
mentor.
people were in
See,
on it.
that wrist-cutting incident we saw earlier was overseen by Jigsaw, telling Amanda she's just gotta try shrooms or almost died. It's like such an experience. We get a bunch of flashbacks putting all the pieces in place, showing how Amanda helped Jigsaw kidnap Daniel to put in
But
the
how
safe,
is
and it
Jigsaw
ends
going to
with
get out
her
of his
giving a
certain?
proclamation.
It is I who will carry on John's work after he dies.
And for her first test subject,
Really?
Amanda
The
is
rest of the
gonna
movies are
replicate
gonna star
Jigsaw's
her?
classic ending as Matthews,
Game over?
chained in place, screams
Gonna
at
say
him.
game over. Yep.
I'll fucking kill you!
The movie ends with Jigsaw sitting in the car where Matthews left him,
Smiling.
a bloody smile spreading across his face. Saw 2 had more twists,
So does
more
he
traps,
escape,
more
or-
characters, and more gore. But did it have more kills? Let's find
Really
out and get to
talk
the
about him
numbers.
dying though. What was the thing at the end?
9
What?
people died in Saw 2, as long as you count those 2 cops, which I do. The victims consisted of 7 men and 2 women. So in the sequel, Jigsaw's judgment finally
It's no
extended
longer a
fatally
blue
to
pie
the
chart.
ladies.
No
If
longer
we're on top
blueberry
of
pie.
94 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average.
Is that shorter?
4 minutes.
No.
I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Mike. It's a real cool way to open the movie, and I like how it's brutal while
Yeah,
still
I thought
leaving
that was
plenty to
gonna
the
be-
imagination. Dull Machete
He
for
loves the
Layman's Bill
traps.
will go to the cops who got electrocuted, because, like, obviously. The platinum punji sticks for coolest trap goes to that Venus flytrap death mask. I think the key behind the eye thing is the perfect balance of gruesome
Oh, so I guess
that someone
the
could
golden
go through
chainsaw
with
is that
as long
death.
as they had that will to live. Rusty mousetrap for lamest trap goes to the furnace trap that killed Abby.
Wait,
Even the
why
briefest
is that?
assessment of the inside of that furnace would have revealed the
Yeah,
devil
I
in his
mean,
bell. No one
yeah,
should
who
die
does
from
climb
that.
inside of a
And I will do
furnace?
one more new thing for this kill count franchise. Saw is an unusual series in that almost all of its sequels are just numbers with no subtitles. They're just Saw 2, 3, 4, etc. Always in Roman numerals too. I think that makes
Why?
them hard to remember sometimes, so throughout these kill counts, I'll be giving each sequel my own personalized subtitle to help us all differentiate
Which is
them.
gonna be
Thus,
what?
for this film, I give you Saw 2, Nerve Gas House Party. If only Kid and Play could have cameoed. And that's
Who?
it. Saw 2 came out in 2005 and fucking wrecked the box office. It remains the highest grossing Saw film in the US
Really?
and Canada. The next
But the
movie,
third
Saw
one-
3, would do well too.
Oh, it
and
did
end up being
well?
the highest grossing Saw film worldwide. We'll look at that one next week, but until then, I'm James A. Janice.
They hit a home run, and then they hit
Thanks
another
a lot for
one, and
watching
then
today's
another
Kill
one,
Count. I want
apparently.
to thank a couple of patrons like Donald Philip Van and James
And shouts to the
Montgomery.
patrons.
Saw 2 is probably my favorite of the franchise. Next weekend, I'll be in Dallas for Texas Frightmare. If you're in the area or plan on going,
been
let
to
me know and I'll
Dallas.
see if I can hold a meetup. It'll
It's
also be my
crazy.
birthday weekend. My last birthday of the 20s. Yay! Don't get old, kids. I don't recommend it. You know what I can recommend, though? Being good people.
Okay, so this was Saw and Saw 2. Very interesting movies. Kind of interesting to see how he kind of... Does he like gets people... Does he just like gaslight people or something? Like, he gets people to like work with him and turn against others, and then they like act, and there's so many variables that could go one way or the other. Like I said, the whole combination thing. If bro did not stick his head out of the furnace, they would have never gotten that code. Also, what would happen if... Because somebody says... it's in the back of my mind. I'm looking at the back of my head and other people's head to see if they have a number for a combination. That's the very first thing I'm doing. I have no idea why. What was his name? Xavier went all crazy like that. I guess it's just wow. It's crazy. But next one's going to be Happy Death Day, which is a movie I have seen. Also 23 million views, and then 11 million views, then 14 million views. Good Lord. Okay. Oh, wait, what? Why did Leppy Boy not get that many? Aw. Well, the Leprechaun Supercut video should be out, and hopefully I should be doing a Supercuts for the Saw series as well. The Leprechaun series, I have edited that, put it all together. I think it's like 2 hours and 1 minute long. I think it took 5.5 hours to render on the second attempt of rendering. The first attempt crashed 2 hours into it, so I had to restart, and it took over 5.5 hours to do that. So I think I'm going to do that with the Saw series. I'm not sure how long that video is going to be, but it should be interesting. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Patrons get them all a day early. I could not do this if it was not for them. I hope you're subscribed to some of the future videos as we're approaching 100,000 subscribers. But until the next video, take care and keep the music.
We were playing